Greetings, loyal listeners from across the galaxy. You may recall from our last mission log that our crew were out their welcome on the Wobbleway, so instead decided to board the Yardicus Height, where they participated in a dance contest, a cooking competition, and finally a gladiator challenge. And now, Dungeon to the Stars continues.
You tell one of the guys on top of Unicali now goes limp, he's unconscious.
Can I keep him there until he dies?
If you want. The other guy you're holding, this guy hit right in the nards, right in the rainbow lettering of his mankini. You can see the countdown clock going down, only a few seconds remaining.
Can I throw him at the ball return?
Yeah.
At the guy shooting the balls? 19?
Lucky's a little guy. You toss him the direction. It doesn't make it quite far enough, but you can tell he goes that direction. It's still pretty impressive. The crowd loves it. It's right at the wire, too. Like right after it happens, it's 3, 2, 1. And anyone that survived the tennis ball gauntlet can go on to the next round. Next round is the hanging joust. Now, keep in mind, you're only wearing a mankini and stuff, so if you have your weapon with you, it's difficult for you to be carrying your weapon with your mankini. You're not wearing your regular gear. But if you have your sword tucked into your mankini, that's your business, I guess. You guys go on to the next round, the hanging joust, which requires climb checks, acrobatics checks to move from pillar to pillar, and then attacks to attack each other and knock each other off. Only 5 people made it through to this hanging gauntlet round, hanging joust. This one has a time limit, but if you can knock everybody off before the time is up, you can be made champion. Game over. Time begins. Yeah, you start in 5 opposite areas of this big jousty thing. You're already up there, so the climb is done right now. So it's an acrobatics to jump to another one. You know, like Chinese checkers, you can move your balls around. If you get close to somebody, you can attack. Right now, you're all very far apart.
19?
Yeah, you can leap. With the 19, you can even cross two of these little pillars. They're not close enough for you to reach in this turn, but you can go towards one of them.
I want to jump. I want to make my way towards a person, and I got a 16.
You're a little smaller, but that does get you to 1 pillar. You hop 1 pillar over, moving towards an enemy. I assume you guys aren't going for each other, just going for randos, right?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
If it comes down to the 2 of you. The 5 of them, you're each going to try to move towards an enemy. This guy moves towards you, Kess, but at about your speed. Corner does not move at all. Either you just got afraid, or you just reached for the next pillar and couldn't reach it, just chickened out and just didn't move. Same thing with this guy in this corner, just holds onto his pillar and doesn't move. The one that you're going for, Kess, is held still. The one next to him also doesn't move. Last guy, though, does come towards you, Nakali. Also moves 2 pillars forward, move to where you are. He gets to attack. Natural 20. So that's going to be a hit.
Damn it all.
You're also jumping, and you have these foam covered bats to hit each other with, so that's fun. He does 7 foam damage.
You bastard. I'm going to push him. Going to use it to push him off the pillar. CMB to push.
Shove him with that stick.
31.
He falls. You do knock him off this pillar. Let me see if he can catch another one, though. I only rolled a 12, so unfortunately he misses the pillar. He goes to grab from when you knock him off, so I will let him fall down onto the mat below. Cursing. Not unconscious, but he's out of this match now, so... Alright, Kessblix.
See how far I move. If I move any, that's a 12.
You can move 1 pillar.
If I move close to... How far am I away from this guy? How many more do I have to move to get in?
If you move 1 pillar now, you'll only be 1 pillar away from the guy that hasn't moved.
Okay, so I moved to the next pillar and now 1 pillar away from me.
As long as he doesn't move, yep.
Can I jump fake him to where he thinks I'm going to try to attack him? To maybe get him to stumble off or something? Throw a strike, but not to hit him. Throw a strike. I'll try to feint stumbles or something.
Fake him out.
That might not work. So now I'm rolling and doing a bluff check. 14.
Decent bluff. Not enough to fake him out to fall off his pillar.
It's all the mind game.
One guy in the far left corner doesn't move still. Neither does the one that was coming after you earlier, Kess. He moved 1 pillar and then stopped. Now that you're going the other direction. The one that you're coming after, though, moves 2 pillars away towards another guy who hasn't moved.
Scared him.
That guy moves 1 pillar inward towards the center. And then it's back to Nakali.
Alright, are there any distance where I can move and get him at the same time?
The one that just moved towards the center, if you move towards the center and roll a 19 or 20 or higher, you can get close enough to hit them.
I don't think that will be possible, but what I can do is I can get there and I can prompt that if he moves within range, hold my action, if he gets it within melee range, I can push him. 12?
Okay, yeah, so you move 1 pillar with a 12 and ready action shove.
So the guy I was trying to go for moved back 2 space. How far is the guy behind me?
The one behind you is now 3 pillars behind you. The one in front of you is 3 in front of you.
Okay, that's 10.
You can jump to 1 pillar with that.
I'll jump to the pillar of the person that's moving.
Guy moves 2 pillars that way, away from Nakali. So moves the direction you were going, but it's behind you, so it doesn't matter. Oh, the guy in the center. Well, natural 20 is just going to go away from Nakali back down towards the outer pillars. And the timer is counting down.
Is there anyone within range now?
No, they all moved away from you.
At 19.
Once you move 2 pillars on that, The one that just ran away from you can move towards and only be 1 pillar away from again.
I'll do that, and perhaps my main action prayer that if anyone comes within range, I push them.
Kesplix?
So the person moving away from me, they're 2 pillars away from me now? Alright, I'm gonna move towards them and see how far I go. That's only a 9.
So unfortunately, you're not even going to be able to make the jump. Roll a climb check to grab on without falling when you jump.
Alright. That's a 15.
Alright, so just barely you're able to jump and you start sliding down. You make it 1 pillar over and you almost fall.
And I want to throw my foam sword at the nearest person.
You can do that with a ranged dex attack.
20. Unnatural.
That'll hit a guy. I rolled a low
Roll-
enough reflex save that I'm going to let that
damage.
dislodge him. So it's not going to be very much damage, but I will let it knock him off the pillar. It's a good shot, but now you've lost your jousting stick.
Yeah, but I got my claws.
So now you got to be on the same pillar as somebody to reach them. No more 1 pillar away bullshit. Now you're going to be all up on top of them.
3 left.
Natural 20s. This guy's going to do some good jumps. Back to his original starting spot. This guy got an 18, so he'll move 1. He'll move back this direction too. They're both moving away from you guys. Of course. You guys seem to be the dangerous ones here. The timer's running out.
Yeah, I guess I'll keep trying to chase them.
Go for it. You can jump 1 pillar.
Can I get anyone?
No, that guy fell, so no.
Then I will hold my action.
Oh! How far away am I from Nikali?
4 pillars, looks like.
I go, Nikali, come towards me.
Why?
And then I use my roll to try and go. I rolled a 19 plus dex. That's 2. That's 21. So I move towards Nikali.
Alright, you move 2 pillars towards him, so now he's only 2 pillars away from you.
Like, why?
Just trust me. I'm not gonna hit you.
I mean, even if you did, I mean, you're without your sword. Well, you can't use your sword, so I feel significantly less in danger.
These guys don't move. Here's your last chance.
I guess I'll go towards him. I am trusting him. 10.
You move 1 pillar away from Kesplix. You guys are 5 feet away from each other on pillars now.
Nikali,
Yeah.
I'm willing to do this. I'm gonna jump into your arms, and you're gonna throw my ass at whoever you want to illuminate, and I'm gonna fucking kick them off of this thing. And I'm gonna try to land on it, but I'm not sure I'll be able to land after I kick this guy. But it'll be 1 less guy, and then you'll be able to have a better chance at winning the whole thing.
I will do that for the hilariousness of doing that.
Alright, so after a brief conversation, you toss Kesplix.
Do a huge, wind up, and then I'm gonna chuck the...
And I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to sail through the air and kick a motherfucker, but land on the pillar instead of falling also to my demise and illumination from the competition.
I'll figure that. Roll a ranged dex attack first, Nikali, to see if you even hit this guy. And do you drop your jousting? I guess it doesn't matter at this point because the round's about to be over.
Yeah,
but to have a free hand looks puny in your hands anyway.
Holy shit, that's a natural 20.
So I've got to let it happen. So you do throw Kesplix at a guy. Roll Kesplix damage on a guy. How much do you weigh, Kesplix?
50 pounds.
You weigh about 50 pounds. We'll say that's 5d6 damage there, Nikali, you can roll on this guy.
Oh, that's pretty low. 14.
Not enough to knock him unconscious, but I will say it's enough to knock him off the pillar. Kesplix, roll me a reflex save to try and grab onto a pillar, and then if that's successful, you can roll a climb check to see if you can climb up it.
Plus 2, 15.
Just enough to grab on, so roll me a climb check to grapple your way back onto it.
That's strength, so that should be good. Yeah, 18.
Alright, you get yourself back up there, and now you're only about 2 spaces away from the other last guy, but now time is up. Buzzer goes off. Just the 3 of you remaining up there.
That's righteous.
Meanwhile, back on the Zhaoshan, roll a perception check.
I got a 23.
More all-star ships approaching. A lot of them are going to parking decks. A triad, 3 of them though, are coming to Yardagus Heights and loading into the luxury docking area where you can actually park ships if you are a well-connected person.
I would like to attempt to land.
Like sneak in through the opening door?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a tricky one. Stealth, I suppose?
I got a 16.
Oh wow. Only one of them picks you up coming in from the rear. It's obvious you're not with them. You don't have clearance to park here. So once you get in, if you get through the door, you're going to be met with trouble. Do you want to try and force your way in?
Yeah.
Alright, you force your way into parking deck for ships of the elite here in Yardagus. There are turret guns and other guard protocols set up to prevent this kind of thing from happening, so roll for initiative.
I got a
I
15.
also got a 15, and I'll let you go first.
Are there any frequencies that I can broadcast to?
Yeah, I mean, there's the general open channel to communicate with whoever's here. You can try to communicate with other ships, but you might be in range to reach Tomoko. Possibly.
Yeah, no, I just want to talk to whoever is guarding this.
Yeah, you can try to communicate with Yargus Heights. Comms.
What is the meaning of this?
Safety protocol, sir.
I have a reserved berth here on this dock. I don't understand what the problem is.
Glamour ID, please.
We don't deal in that. The name Aloysius Devidonder Abercrombie.
Bluff check.
I'd like to burn my last hero point for this.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I got 32.
That's a great bluff. Meaningless bluff, but it's very good. Since you used a hero point, I'll let you try to hack, though, with a sleight of hand to convince this automated guard that what you're saying is legit. You've confused the machine enough that it's questioning its records. That you can tell, like, the guns are like, should I fire, should I not fire? It's going to ask you to pull into an area, since they don't have any record of you, there's no space reserved for you. There's like a loading area where your ship can wait while they get this sorted out.
Fantastic. As I go to fly to the loading area, I'd like to broadcast to see if any of my companions are within range.
I guess the only one that has a communication device is Tomoko, so Tomoko, roll perception check to see if you can pick anything up where you're at. You guys are a little bit far away, but perception check to see if anything comes through.
17 and 7.
25, that's pretty good. You must be close enough that Tomoko can pick up your frequency, so if you want to communicate with Tomoko, you can. You're getting the rock vibe that you can now communicate.
Hey, Tomoko-chan, I was getting bored on the main dock.
Daoshan, I'm so excited. I have to tell you, I lost a dance contest and a cooking contest.
I'm pleased that you are trying new experiences. And your success is the journey that you get to undertake.
I know, right? Everybody else won, and they did great. I don't know what we're doing right now, though.
Well, I am docked in the luxury docking site under the name Aloysius Devidonder Abercrombie.
Okay, I don't know if I'll remember all that, but we'll tell
Just remember
someone
that
who
blood
will.
For mud, or so I've been told.
Can I tell someone else in the group what?
Yeah.
Or I guess, do they hear it as well if I do?
Mr. Von Hohenheim can be there to hear that,
Yeah, I mean,
because you
he's
guys are
just saying
together.
actually he'll hear.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hi, Zashan. Mr. V, what a pleasure.
Always, my friend.
I heard that you and everybody else are doing well at dance competitions and cooking contests.
No, I lost at the cooking competition as well, but I'll remember to ask for Aloysius Abercrombie. What was the middle name?
Devidonder.
Aloysius Devidonder Abercrombie once we get to your berth.
Fantastic. I feel better about this venture already, given that I'm here to communicate and coordinate as necessary.
At this point in time, two very blocky droids come up, sort of like tall rectangular cubes with square cube heads with pink faces on all four sides. Approach your ship. You, I guess, not even your ship, yourself. They approach you.
Me.
Yeah. They come up to you, asking to inspect your ship, cargo, goods, since they have no record of you, just to make sure this is safe, not any sort of terror threat or anything.
Yeah, I'll let them.
Seems friendly. Their bot's not your favorite, but at least they're not humans. They come aboard, do a quick scan of everything. They don't meddle. They don't have arms. They don't seem to meddle anything. They just sort of like bloop 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 scan your whole area. You don't have any really dangerous weapons. Your contraband is not something they're really concerned about, although they might now have record of you having it. They apologize for any inconvenience. They're still trying to get everything sorted out. They do insist a conglomerate ID would help, but you still don't provide one. They ask where your crew is. That's also something they seem very concerned about, that you have no crew. As soon as your crew can report, they would like to scan someone's conglomerate ID, have proof you are who you are, that you should be here. They're going to request to keep you docked here. Until that happens, since you're here in this holding area, they apologize, but will have to hold you in a tractor beam for safety reasons.
No, that won't be necessary.
The tractor beam activates. 20 not natural versus your CMD.
My CMD is lower than an unnatural 20.
You are currently being held in place by an unnatural force.
That's fine. That's fine.
The small robots that have investigated you, Zaoshan, are like exclamation points almost, like a tall rectangular stick bot with a pink view frame on it, and like one little round orb, like wheel on the bottom, sort of teeter around. They don't seem to be good for all that much, but they have scanned you, they've like ridden all around you, they've ridden inside you, like blooped up all your rooms, looked at all your stuff. Of course, you have no crew aboard, except those in storage. You have all your plant material, you have your dinosaur-type creature, but otherwise, you didn't perturb them when they inspected you. After they inspect you, though, they leave the ship and are just, milling about doing their little robot in this cargo hold nonsense. And in this cargo hold, there is a large room, and out of it walks a large pink robot whose body is the shape of what in common you would call like an ape shape, almost like a gorilla-shaped body, except with no head, and a glass orb around the top of its chest, and it goes around to the neck where the neck of its head would be. And in that glass orb are 3 tiny little pink creatures. There's obviously like mechanisms inside there controlling it, walking this big thing around. It now approaches your ship after those other robots have scanned you, and it like looks at the reports that they've scanned, and it's like clicking buttons with its big fat fingers as best it can and bleeping through information. This big pink thing comes closer to you. You hear the 3 little things inside that aren't making much noise, but there's like a little honking noise inside the glass bubble.
Cute.
Like they're fighting amongst each other.
Cute.
It's, clicking around this pad, similar to the visual display pad that Dr. P has, clicking around on it, arguing amongst themselves in their alien language inside the thing. And then they point to the little exclamation point robots, and a loud honk comes out of the robot, and they all scatter. He points up to the side of the ship where some space moss, something that doesn't grow on the side of most ships, or at least not to any effect, but does on the side of yours, because you're a planet ship, that has grown over the barcode as your conglomerate ID. And so he's obviously fussing at them for not having discovered that, but they don't have hands, they couldn't have uncovered it. But he reaches up and mushes away some of the moss and scans your conglomerate ID. Bleep bloop. Now he honks again, and the exclamation points scurry again, and sort of like gather all around. He looks up at the Zhaoshan, big pink gorilla-like body. The honk turns into some static and then into common. Oh! Hello! Ship! Ship, can you speak for yourself?
I would like to say absolutely fucking nothing.
Okay, we've got no captain, an unresponsive ship. It's not looking good, guys. We have no record of this ship. I scanned it. It's called Odin's Butthole? What a name for a ship. Captain von Hohenheim. Never heard of him. Look, this ship shouldn't be here, guys. We gotta get it out of here. We gotta find someone to negotiate with. They've got some good product on board. We could probably trade some of those meat and vegetables to cover all the repairs we're gonna need to do. But we gotta get the ship out of here. It's either that or we try to scrap it.
I cast Entangle.
Well, you are a plant creature, so the roots can come out of you. You can make some vines pop up in the air around you. I get a reflex save to see if anyone gets stuck in them.
Reflex partial.
Alright, the gorilla rolled high enough, and about 1/3 of the little exclamation points rolled high enough, but the other 2/3 of exclamation robots definitely stuck. Oh my, something's happening! So that was a free action since nothing was happening before that, but now we can roll for initiative. I only rolled an 11, so...
I rolled an 18. Zhaoshan says in a booming voice, automated defense systems activated.
Oh my! Told you we had to get this thing out of here!
Unauthorized movement detected. Cease hostile actions or automated defenses. Will escalate.
Ready the cannons, just in case, fellas! This ship seems hostile!
They need to reattempt their save, or if they succeed.
This time I got a 14 and a 13. So now everybody's all up in your vines. This is ridiculous! Where do these vines come from? Ship, can you hear me? What's the meaning of this?
Cease hostile action or hostilities will be escalated.
You started it!
This vessel is lawfully parked. It will not be.
That's incorrect. You don't have clearance to be here.
I'd like to roll a bluff check. I got a 27. Hell yeah!
The only reason you would be here is for delivery, like I said, so obviously, either this meat and produce is for us, or you shouldn't be here. So either let us unload some produce and meat, or you need to move along.
You have the requisite transfer protocol paperwork.
Do you?
Hostile tone detected. Escalating hostilities.
Right back at you, Shippy. Cannons, full charge, please. Somebody alert the All-Stars. We might have a problematic ship here.
Yeah, I'd like to swing with the lance. Maybe. Alright, yeah, I'd just like to swing it in the air.
Okay, that's what, an intimidation check?
Yeah. Rolled an 18.
Whoa, settle down there, ship, settle down. I'm gonna roll diplomacy. Only a 16, so you can take it as you wish.
All hostile parties. Place forehead or forehead analog components against decks. Comply immediately.
This is the weirdest ship I've ever confronted. Ship, who's your captain? Alert your captain, please.
I'd like to modulate my voice to the sound of thousands of beasts and say, there is no captain.
Cannons, fire! Well, that's a 23 versus touch AC. That'll be 10 damage.
Zero point that shit. No way I'm letting you get 10 shots off like that.
Alright, so instead of intimidating, we'll go back to that turn. Instead of intimidating, what would you like to do?
With hero point power, Zhaoshan would like to bluff again. Contract deficiency noted. This will be reported to your immediate supervisor. Have a nice day.
So wait, are we getting this produce and meat or what?
I am engaging the engines and back.
Fine, there must be a missed delivery. Open the gates!
I would like to say with the voice of 1,000 beasts, report and sent to your immediate supervisor. Have a nice day. Fly out of the open gates.
Yeah, you want to intimidate them with that on the way out to see if they're frightened that you're actually going to report them?
Yeah, I rolled another 18.
Oh no, we're going to be in so much trouble if that was supposed to be our incoming produce delivery. According to this manifest, there was a lot of good stuff on there.
Flying out of this bay. Contact Tomoko and say, I lost our parking space.
Yeah, Tomoka picks that up as well. You can say that on the way out, but then the signal will get weaker as you pull
And
away.
I say, wait, where do we meet you?
I will circle the building. When you exit, we should be back in radio contact.
I'm gonna make sure that Dr. P next to me heard or knows what's going on.
When you hover close, you see that the cannons mounted on the side of the ship follow you as you circle around. So if you try and think funny, you might get fired at. But otherwise, ships are allowed to fly around the atmosphere here as long as you're not committing a crime. You guys are, at this point, the large ship in the orange flummy goo is at a large platform. Bots hooking up cables and stuff like that to the ship, probably resupplying it with fuel or whatever else from this platform. There's also a large tower, a broadcasting tower on this platform. The ship is hooked up as you circle above. Meanwhile, indoors, on the bottom floor, stage is being erected. Our 2 remaining gladiators are in their onesies, the Yardigus Heights onesies, prepared for the next gladiator challenge, while Dr. P and Tomoko are in the audience watching. You guys want to place any bets before this next gladiator round goes down? You see him building the stage. It's Ninja Warrior styles obstacles that have to be crossed. There's going to be stuff fired at them, people attacking them. And then at the end, after all these other obstacles, there's a series of doors they have to choose from. 2 leading to death, 1 leading to victory. More than one person makes it through the winning door, they both move on to a sudden death round. The rules are kind of explained to the audience that are watching. You can see that this is hooked up. This is being broadcast to a much wider audience than a lot of stuff you guys have been part of before.
Alright, we have to keep several of them alive.
Yeah, and there'll be gladiators chasing you the whole time to pummel you, and there'll be gladiators off the course firing those tennis ball-like objects at you again. Be prepared to take some damage if you don't keep moving.
Guess like we're gonna need to keep some of them alive at the end, so we can throw them to see which door is death or not.
I didn't know we were killing people.
There are only 3 contestants in this game. There are several gladiators that are part of the entourage and the ones firing someone, but there's only 3 contestants that could possibly win, because the field got narrowed out before you guys got here. It was the 2 of you and 1 other competitor. You guys start on 3 different sides of a large, climbing structure. A foam mountain, if you will. So you don't start out next to each other. Dr. P, you want to place any bets before we get into it for reals? There are 3 possible things you can bet on. You might have to find someone in the crowd willing to bet with you, but you're a diplomatic guy, especially when you're Mr. von Hohenheim.
Yep, I'll roll a little Diplo for a little gambling. That's going to be a 17.
You can find someone at least mildly interested in gambling with you. Name your wager and what you want to bet on. They might be interested. At just the mention of gambling, they seem
By
sort of
the way,
piqued.
we have 6,500 credits to wager.
So I would probably just do my normal, 100 gloms. Alright, I want to bet on one of those contestants.
Kess, Nakali, or the person you don't know.
The person I don't know.
They bet on Nakali if you bet on the 3rd person.
Alright, cool.
And if either one of you are right, the other person wins the gold, and if both of you are wrong, you just get your money back. So if Kess Blix wins, nobody loses any money, nobody gains any money. If the person you bet on wins, you gain money. If the person that they bet on wins, you lose money. Make sense?
That sounds a lot of fun.
And let's get into it. So the first challenge, the crowds cheer. This is all being brought. There's large screen TVs all around being, so you guys can see this is being recorded and broadcast out of the galaxy probably. There's announcers announcing what's going on. There's the gladiators in much fancier outfits than you guys, ready to chase after you. There's a timer. You guys get to go a little slightly ahead, and then they get to try to catch up with you and drag you back down this tall, mountain obstacle structure. And then there's other ones off the south side that get to fire at you. So roll for initiative, I guess. The 3rd guy rolled a 9, so if as long as
I
we
got a nat 20.
15.
That'll be the only time I roll fucking nat 20.
So yeah, Kess, with that natural 20, you get to go first on this obstacle. You're a spry little ninja frog, so of course you're hopping. You're ready to hop. The first thing you have to do is an acrobatics challenge.
Alright, that's a unnatural 20.
Hop on up, so you do some backflips, you do some jumps. You hop from platform to platform over dangerous laser beams and water pits or acid pits and other stuff. This actually looks like a pretty dangerous obstacle course, much more dangerous than the stuff you guys did before. These are actually death traps. The viewers watch for the spills and the thrills.
I'm gonna take me and my 100 because I'm larger. I get to astral, which is nice.
So you're just gonna sprint into some lasers and acid, or?
No, I'm gonna still acrobatics.
Yeah, it's an acrobatics check, unless you just want to run forward into some lasers and acid, which you can also do.
I'll be strong.
That's your call. Oh, 18's not enough. It's almost. But unfortunately, you don't make it all the way. Kess is ahead of you. You still moved some, you just haven't cleared the obstacle. Kess has cleared the first obstacle. Oh, natural 20. So the third guy, it was this little four-armed guy, about your size, Kess, actually. This is another small guy. He's right up there with you.
Ah!
And he's like kind of ahead of you, and you can see him across the course. You guys are like this pyramid-shaped course, like doing obstacles towards each other. He looks at you across the course, makes eye contact. You can see he's slightly ahead of you.
I say, watch out!
And then some gladiators get to fire at you. All of them, it looks like they fail. One comes pretty close to you, Nikali, because you're a big guy, but they all miss. The timer's still counting down. They have 4 more seconds till they're ready to start chasing after you guys. But so far they have not. Back to Kess. You are on the next obstacle, which is a climbing obstacle. 17, so not quite able to clear this next challenge, but you're moving forward. Just don't make it all the way over it. Nikali, you still have to finish the acro challenge. You've only got to beat a 10 to do it.
Got this. 18 again.
Alright, that's enough to get you to the top of the acro challenge. You can still roll for the climb, so you still have a move left since you're on to the next obstacle. It's actually something you can do. So if you want to try to climb to catch up, you're a big guy. You can roll your climb now.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at the climbing stuff. 29.
You'll pass Kess. He's also got longer arms than you. He's just a bigger guy.
Plus I put I have ranks in it, and it's a class skill. So I have a plus 10.
He's just a big, nasty dude. Other little guys about your size, Kess. Your opponent.
That's not fair. He's got 4 arms.
Yeah, he's also just about caught up with you. He's a little past you, but not much. He also hasn't crossed the climbing threshold to the next obstacle yet.
Yeah, I was like, acrobatics, fuck. And then I was like, climb? Yes.
The next obstacle is a tunnel you run through, but then you get caught up in all these rope-like protrusions that come out and sticks. You have to kind of make your way through this obstacle, or this hallway full of obstacles. That'll be an escape artist check for Kess. First, Kess has to finish climbing to get to it, but you can see this hallway full of obstacles above you there, Kess. But finish your climb check to get there. If you do well, you can continue on.
21.
21's good enough to cross the climb threshold and hop into this tunnel. So roll me escape artist to get through it.
That's a 13.
So you get about halfway through this thing as all these like ropes are catching you and these stick-like protrusions are poking out, bopping you in the face and stuff. It's like running through a hallway full of dildos. Nikali,
I'm going to roll for my escape artist, I guess. Oh, awesome. 21.
you just plow your way through. Not your first time plowing through a hallway full of dildos.
Well, it also is something I put a rank.
Of course it is. Dildo hallway, 1 rank.
Leveled up
Yeah.
on Dildo Hallway.
Little guy climbs to catch up with you, and no one charges down a dildo hallway like you. Especially this other guy. He's a little bit behind you. He's just like before, a little bit ahead of Kess, but just barely. But each of you coming through your own dildo-filled hallways towards the apex of this pyramid-like structure. My ball launchers, to see if I can launch some balls at you guys. I got a 20 nut natural versus your AC Nikali.
Oof, that's a hit.
The rest all miss, but Nikali's a big guy, so he's the easiest target. There's like a part of him hanging out of the dildo hallway, and the rest of you are fully inside the dildo hallway. So Nikali take 5 damage that round from that.
Got it.
Let's see if anyone's able to start catching up with you guys. First is my acro checks. Oh, I got 2 guys up here on acro. Let's see if they are able to do anything else since they made that first one. They start climbing. Haven't quite made it yet. There are also 2 behind you. There are two guys coming after you now, though, on their way up. Now it's Kess's turn. The next is a water pit you have to swim through.
Oh, yay! More strength stuff.
Oh.
But it's like jello, it's like gooey. But it doesn't seem to be alive or anything, so it just seems to be slimy.
Did you say swim?
Yep, you gotta swim through some slime. Either that or jump over it really far if you have some way to jump really far.
Kappa have a swim speed of 40 feet, and they do not have to make a swim check in order to swim under normal circumstances.
Alright.
Having +8 racial bonus to swim checks.
So all I need from you is a higher than 10 escape artist check to finish making your way through the dildo hallway. And then you can auto swim if you make it the rest of the way through the dildo hallway.
Whoa, 21.
That's not to make it through, and I'll give you your auto swim because you swim. But you'll come out the other end all slimy, all your you're in your leotard, that's all covered in slime now. Like thick
I'm
Nickelodeon slime.
This slime is going to be a detriment towards the next obstacle.
You're gonna be slippery now. Nikali,
So I'm swimming.
you did make it through the escape artist thing, so all you do is swim.
Yeah, natural 20.
You also swim. You come out, your blue fur is covered in green slime. Yeah, I mean, Kess still swam better than you because he has 40 automatic, so he was ahead of you, but you still caught up, and you look over at each other, breathing heavy, and you got slime with you guys, give each other a thumbs up or whatever, I'm sure.
Yeah, we give him a thumbs up. We're gonna like throw the guy into the door.
Slow guy, unfortunately, still isn't. He got caught at the end of the dildo hallway and hasn't made it to the swimming obstacle yet. And now you guys get fired on again. I got a 16 versus Nikali.
Damn it, bastard.
You're the biggest guy. I would shoot somebody else, but you're the easiest target. And my other dice all missed, so I was just assuming it was the smaller guys that I missed. 6 ball damage, sir. Right in the nards.
Oh,
Yeah. As soon as you came out of that dildo tunnel.
Toughing it out.
Right in the ball bag. Now you guys have made it through this swim obstacle. You're slippery. Reflex safe to not slip off the platform since you're all slimy.
Oh my god, you're not gonna believe it. Natural 20. Sorry.
18. Yeah, so neither one of you slip off the platform. But now on this, there's like sort of a log on a wire that you have to ride. So now I need ride checks from each of you to get through this next obstacle. Wow, I forgot I have to have guys chasing you. Let's see if they keep up. So they're both, I got 2 guys in the dildo tunnels right now. Chasing after you.
That's only 13.
Alright, so it's a wobbly ride, and you're not all the way across. You get sort of stuck in the middle, riding this thing, Kess, across this wire. Now you're like humping it, trying to get it to go the rest of the way.
It's the most action I've ever had.
To be fair, it's a fairly attractive log. Nakali.
No, I'd love to sit on a log.
Yeah. This is not the first log you've had an intimate relationship with, we'll put it that way.
Non-natural 20.
Man.
I know.
Nakali is
really
crushing
well.
it. He just humps this log all the way across this line. The little guy makes it out of the dildo tunnel, tries to swim, only makes about halfway across the swimmy swims. So he's still behind you guys, firing some balls at everyone. Only 1 hit again. It's 1 hit on Nakali, which is 5 damage. Right in your face that time, too. You call foul.
face damage.
That's gonna swell up that cheek, boy.
Now,
Now we have 1 more acrobatics check. First, Cass, you have to finish writing. So roll me a ride check above 10, which you could probably pull off.
Okay, I'm not joking here. This is actually another natural 20.
I got 11.
Another one?
Boo.
I know,
Alright.
I'm not joking. Look at it.
So Cass finishes his ride. Nakali makes it all the way up his last jumping spider trick. Cass, you can still get to roll your acro since you did enough to catch up.
But I'll get it. I got a 10.
Alright, so you're about halfway across this acrobatic challenge, this jumping spider, like jumping from wall to wall. You see Nakali up above you at the top of this pyramid-like structure. Coming up from behind, the other little guy finishes swimming, but his tunic comes out all covered in green and is exhausted, doesn't even jump on the log yet. He's trying to like wipe all the slimy goo off him so he doesn't slip off the log. Let's see if I got to roll for my guys to catch up. No, none of them move. And then I roll to fire some balls on you guys.
All fire.
Once again, only 1 successful ball fire on Nakali with 4 damage. Someone's gunning for you, dog. One of these guys moves past the swim, and because I got natural 20, I'll go for another one. Jumps in the log and makes it almost all the way across. So he's actually farther than the other little guy, catching up to you guys. Still has another obstacle before he does. One of the gladiator figures.
Oh, they're not
Laser
gonna-
Wolf or whatever. They all have names. This is Laser Wolf. Like from Fiddler on the Roof.
That's 13.
That's enough to get you up there. So now you pull up to the top of this plateau of the top of this pyramid shape with Nakali. You both look over at each other. In front of you are 3 doors. It's just a wall with like cut out 3 like large square shapes you can just bust through. You have to kind of like break through to get through.
And it's just 3 identical doors, and
Yeah, more not really doors as much as just like large squares that can be broken through in the wall. Like you bust through the other side and hope you don't fall to your peril. You bust through and find the switch that says you get onto the next level as long as no one else comes behind you, or you fall through.
there's a winner, or there's 2 doors that will lead to my demise.
It's a strength check to try to kick it, no matter what you do, or a CMB something to burst through. There are people coming behind you, so.
Alright, what I'm going to do is the farthest door to the right, door number 3, I am going to use my turn to see if I can sense the motive of the door trying to kill me.
You can only sense motive of living things, unfortunately. Trap sense would be like, oh, I know that's a trap.
I don't have
You don't have that.
Oh, it's a red thing.
So,
No.
so then what I do is I look at Nakali, and then I look at the ground. I like lick my finger, and I like test the wind, and then I close my eyes, try to be at one with the universe. And I meditate for just like a split second, since Nakali's stalling as well, to see what I do. And I just make peace with myself that no matter what happens. And then I just full bore strength to burst open the door all the way to the right.
Alright, roll me a strength check to bust through door number 3.
19.
That's enough. Just barely. Like, you tumble through. There's one brick remaining. Like, if it were bowling pins and there was 20 of these fake bricks, you knocked out 19 of the fake bricks. You're a small guy, so that's enough for you to break all the way through. You probably could have broken through with 10 bricks. You're so tiny. But yeah, you bust through into a hole, and you start falling down. You're now falling down into a pit.
Oh, no.
That's as tall as the thing you just climbed.
I just meditate and make peace with whatever
Yeah.
happens.
You're falling at least 120 feet, but you fall about 30 feet per turn, so you
I'm gonna assume that wasn't the right one.
yeah, you can, Nikala, you can now look through that hole and be like, oh, that's a hole. There's no, like, winning red button on the other side of that hole. So, if nothing else, Kess at least crossed that one out for you.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna go down the center door.
Roll me a strength check to bust through the center door, but I'm sure you'll have no problem.
24.
Yeah, you bust through. Boosh. That is the correct door. You can hit the switch.
Hit the switch.
Now, as long as no one comes through, you don't have to go to a sudden death round. Here goes my other last guy on the riding thing. He rides the little ridey deal about halfway across. Then they're going to fire some balls at him. All of them miss, though. Climbers are going to try and climb. Oh, 3 of them move forward with him. One's actually on the ride with him. One's swimming through the slime. One's still all the way at the bottom, but climbing up now. And one's just hasn't even left the ground. He's just didn't feel like it today. He didn't get paid enough or something. He's just sitting there. Kesh, you continue to fall another 30 feet. You've now fallen 60 foot total.
I just continue meditating.
Nikali.
I'm gonna hero point him falling. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Even if they do, it's a sudden death round, and I don't know if they're actually gonna make us kill each other. And I think that, are they gonna kill him at the end of this falling? I don't think so.
I mean, he's at least going to take the fall damage, if nothing, and then there might be something down that you don't know. They said the stakes were higher for this for ratings, so.
Do I hit the ground on the next turn or the next turn after?
You've got another 60 feet to go, so at the rate you're falling, another 2 turns. You can gauge that by your rate of falling, for sure.
Right, wait a second. I need to know something. Can we see the floor?
I mean, you're on a different platform, so you can't even
Well, I
see
don't know.
where Kess is falling.
I know, but like, can you see like they're actually
Perception check, Kess, to see if you can see the bottom there.
18 flat.
Yeah, beneath you, like you're falling down a circular hole, and at the bottom of the hole is a mouth.
Ah,
A mouth.
Yeah, you're falling towards a mouth.
Okay, so I'm not gonna hit like the ground. I'm gonna hit a mouth.
Yeah, with razor sharp teeth.
ah.
So I'm not gonna take fall damage. I just might be in something's fucking stomach.
Alright, never mind. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hero point him out of that. And it'll be like, whoa, wait a second. Let's both.
So he's already fallen 60 feet. What are you going to do? If you want to go back around, I can make him just fall 30 feet so far with the hero point. But you still have to do something to say you can, like, look out of your hole, see that you still won and no one else is coming in your door yet. You can look down his hole, see him falling, but you still have to do something to save him 30 feet down.
Alright, can I throw down my vine? Just have him catch it?
You're just, like, carrying around a vine on your person?
Well, I mean, it's a 30-foot vine rope.
You can throw it down if you've got it on you with your leotard and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
They didn't say in the rules you couldn't bring stuff with you, so, I mean...
Yeah, they just said my armor and stuff.
Yeah.
I would have brought my rope. This seems like that would be important on an
Yeah, if you have it
obstacle
wrapped
course.
around your body, they couldn't have stopped you from bringing it. I'm okay with you having rope. You can throw a rope down there at Kess with your hero point. So Kess, that'll just be a reflex save to try and get to grab that rope.
Oh, well. 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yeah, you grab onto the edge of that rope. So you're hanging 30 feet down a hole, but Nikali's tossed on the rope to catch you. So you're only hanging 30 feet down. Nikali's above you. Little guy finishes his ride and does about half of his acro. So he's about to cross the threshold to be about to where you guys are. Firing some balls, and Nikali's back in the place where I can shoot him with balls again. And I rolled 1 high enough. So 6 damage there, Nikali. Whoever's aiming for you is aiming like right at you. He must be like firing multiple balls at you at once.
Jesus Christ.
Blah, 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 blah.
They know you.
Yeah, you got an enemy.
They're not fans of mine.
And then my climbers try to climb. Gladiators.
Tom is gonna climb.
Laser Wolf, out of tradition, rolled high enough. So he's up. So now Laser Wolf's up on the platform. Now Laser Wolf's not trying to win any prize. He's not going through a door, but he will try to prevent other people from going through the door. And now door number 2 is open. The red button is through there. It's obviously that's the winning thing, but he's going to try to stop anyone who's trying to get in there from getting in there. Since you're in door number 3, he's between you and the second door now. Let's see. And I got one other guy who's on the log ride. And the other 2 guys are still sucking. They're down here, running through the hallway full of dicks. They're still way behind still. But you do have now 1 gladiator up there with you, 1 contestant about to be up there with you, and you and Kess are hanging out in a hole. You're still holding his rope. Kess, it's your turn, so if you want to roll a climb check, you have to get 30 feet up that rope.
13.
Alright, you get about 13 feet up that rope, so you got 17 feet to go before you get out of that hole. Kyle, you're still holding that rope. If you let go of that rope, Kess will fall, and you have nothing to tie it to, really.
You're so strong. Tie it to your leg and just go and hit the
And just
button.
drag Kess with you? You could do that. You just have to make it past a gladiator. Would you like to do that? You can roll a survival check to tie a knot around yourself.
Yeah, I can also move past him. Full rush.
Are you gonna try and bull rush him, huh?
Oh,
Try to plow right through? You could try that. I'm down for a bull rush. That could plow him down. If you succeed, you'll just bust through him. The door's already open, so you don't have to bust through the door. You have to bust through a guy.
Will a 23 be enough?
Yes, 23 is enough to bust through. So you're on the other side of the door. You got this rope dragging behind you. You were 15 feet behind, so you're not inside the door yet, Kess. But he's dragged you to the hole. You're no longer in the hole. You're out on the platform in front of the guy he just busted through.
I'll hit the switch just for busting.
Yeah, double hit. You're just like, I'm still first.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Then the other little guy with the 4 arms, he makes it all the way up to the top, and he's going to try to make a run for the door. If he can make it past the guy, he's going to try and feint him. Successfully, he feints his way in the door. He's going to try to push the button on his next turn unless you stop him there, Necalli. But it'll be your next turn if you can, but he's going for it. He's running at it right now. After him comes my guys shooting balls. The only person they can shoot at right now is Kess, because he's the only one not in the winning circle area. I have 2 hits. One's an 18 and one's a natural 20.
Jiminy Christmas.
So that'll be 7 damage there, Kess.
Gotcha.
And then I got my climbers. One of them's going to try to attack Kess. I got a 16 versus your AC. He's going to try and swing at you there. Alright, so he swings at you and misses. And there's now 2 guys in front of the door, though. Another gladiator runs up and blocks. There's now 2 guys you have to get past where you can get inside. Kess, little short guy, and Necalli are already inside. Kess, it's your turn, but you have to get past 2 guys to get inside.
Jesus.
Now you can, do what they did. Feint, bull rush. There's ways besides trying to fight, to kill them.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
That I have, and I try to lasso them motherfuckers.
And try and rope them together and then just run through?
Yeah.
That sounds like a CMB. Figure that's the same thing as like using a net, to ensnare them.
Ooh, that is an unnatural 20. 15 plus 5.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'll say that's good enough to ensnare those 2 guys. You can use your move then to run past them. You can't press the button yet because there's a guy in front of you, and Necalli's pressing the button.
Yeah.
Necalli, it's your turn first if you want to stop the other little guy from pressing the button.
Collie's behind him, already pressed the button. He's in the doorway. Other 2 are tied up, and I'm approaching the guy who's blocking.
At this point, you guys have all made it to sudden death round unless Necalli stops that guy, and then it's just you and him in sudden death round.
So it might not be good for me to even get
You
these.
still have to hit the button, though, right?
I'm going to grapple this fellow.
Just hold him.
I'm going to give myself improved grapple, and I'm going to grapple him.
Alright, roll me a C and B, and you'll just hold him and not let him press the button. Put him in a bear hug and just stop him from pressing the button.
24.
That's enough to hold the little guy. CMD is not high enough for... You're a big guy, you grab him. Yeah, it's his turn now, so I'll try to roll an escape artist for him. I rolled a natural 1, so you still got him real good. Nice tight squeezy hug. No one can fire balls on you guy because you all are in the winner's circle area, so no one can get shot at right now. But there are 2 guys that are going to try to break out of their binds. One of them is able to make it out and turns to charge at you guys. I only got a 15 versus Unicali, so he's just like grappling at you, but it's probably not doing anything to your big buff guy. I think 15 doesn't hit your AC, right? The other 2 gladiator guys are still at the swim part. There's an edge around the pool. They're sort of like tiptoeing around the swimmy edge. They're just taking their time. So you've got these 2 guys up here with you. 1 guy you're holding, 2 gladiators, you and Kess. Kess, it's your turn. Necalli is not going to stop you from pressing the button, so now nothing is stopping you from pressing the button. So you press the button, the 2 of you can go into sudden death.
Do we know what sudden death is, though?
I don't know if that's been well explained to the 2 of you.
I'm worried
No,
we'll
no one
have
has
to death
explained.
each other.
Because I don't want to fight him, especially because
I'll just
number
concede.
1 is my teammate, and also number 2, he rolls like 30s. So
I've been rolling really well today.
He's very
yeah,
harsh.
press the button. No, I'll press it.
Alright, so the 2 of you at least are going through to sudden death.
Oh no.
So now, Necalli, it's up to you. Do you want to let this other guy go through to sudden death? Do you want to put him out of his misery? Toss him to the gladiators? Toss him down a hole? You gotta prevent him from pushing the button. I mean, you can hold him forever, but until something happens to him,
What's the easiest option?
easiest option is just hold him and let those gladiators punch him to death.
Can I do like the classic bully, like hold him up like an easy target, like
Have him in some sort of like forearm body lock with your
Yeah.
huge pulsing biceps, and those dudes will just punch him until he passes out, and they'll drag him away. You can't tell if he's bleeding a lot. He looks pretty injured. You can't tell if he's dead or alive. But they drag him down the pyramid, and you and Kess Blix gets to go on to sudden death.
What if sudden death is literally just like a squad, and they like point, and they're like, all right, you get sudden death, and then
Suddenly you're dead.
Yeah, suddenly you're dead.
you-
The stage is lowered down into a ring. Some things are dismantled. The gladiators line up around the edge, around 4 double-barrel ball-firing cannons. There's a fight ring in the middle. For the 2 of you,
Another ball.
sudden death. Whoever walks out of this ring alive,
What the fuck?
or 6,000 gloms for the person that walks out of the ring alive.
Can we concede?
If you do, no one wins 6,000 gloms. That's not good for ratings.
You
You
said
might,
walks out alive.
yeah.
Yeah, what if I just walk out?
Alive.
The other person has to be dead. I'm so saying. One person has to be dead. One person has to be alive. You know what I mean. Don't be dicks, guys.
I'm just like, okay, I'm the
Wait a second.
It's 6,000 gloms for the person that survives this match. One of you has to die. If someone taps out...
like knocked unconscious.
No, I mean dying, like death. To the fight to the death.
What the fuck?
If you fight to unconscious, you can get a slightly lower prize. 3,000 gloms if you just fight till they're unconscious. Still a decent prize.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Want to just have some fun and do an unconscious, non-lethal battle?
Oh, they get to keep the unconscious body.
Oh, wait.
Either the body is dead and they keep it, or it's unconscious and they keep it, but either way. Or you guys have to devise some way to get out of here real quick. Fuck up their TV ratings.
This whole point, this
Wait.
rendered this whole thing pointless.
Can't we just like fuck up all these gladiators that are around us, keeping us here?
Dude, I have 5.
Yeah, Nikali looks pretty beat up and bruised. He's got like ball welts all over him, like huge welts from these balls that have been shot at him.
Fuck.
He's got a bloody cheek.
Yeah, I can't
His
really
balls
do
are
that.
swollen. You can see it through his skirt.
Are we still going by the original initiative?
You guys can re-roll initiative if you would like.
Whoa. I'm not killing you. I saved your life with a hero point.
I know!
Nikali's got the look on his face like, please don't kill me, bro. I'm pretty beat up already.
And then I can't take out all these by myself.
Tomoko's gonna yell, "Run away!"
You
Yeah,
probably
let's
can't
do
hear
that.
Tomoko over the rest of the crowd.
I'm gonna yell
I was
anyway.
We'll just be like, no, we're not doing it, and leave.
Crowd loves sudden death. You guys try to leave the ring? I mean, you'll get fired on. You can try to do whatever you want. You're just gonna get shot at a bunch of times with tennis balls.
Why?
For ratings.
You're bouncing.
For ratings, guys.
Well, this has become an entirely pointless. We'd like to keep the body. Can we negotiate a smaller one for like keeping the body?
Yeah, you want to talk? You want to try and talk to the ref before the match? Like the crowd's getting restless, but you can try to diplomacy with the ref for keeping the body.
At least we'll still give you a
I'll let each one of you roll diplomacy to be like, can we keep the body for what? Want to do like 1,500 gloms?
Yeah, that's the biggest worry of me is the whole keeping the body.
All right,
Yeah,
for
can we
for
just-
ratings, as long as one of you at least gets knocked out, roll me diplomacy for that. As long as someone still got knocked out.
It's just for ratings, right? Let's just use my initiative from before. I'm going to fucking. Oh, hold on. What I'm gonna do? Okay.
Give me a wink first.
Just let this happen. Listen. As a swift action, I get to choose a target within sight to challenge as a samurai, and my melee attacks deal extra damage. So I'm going to use that swift action, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to not use my melee attack. I'm going to get real close and grapple Nikali.
Give him like a neck hold,
Well,
foot hold. He's a pretty big guy. Get an arm hold, so you can either like hold an arm, a foot, or a head. But you can get him in a hold of some sort.
Grab a hold of his arm. I'm just close to him. That's all I need to do.
Yeah, this'll get you on him.
Even if I just move very close to him, I don't guess I have to see him deep, and I'm trying to get really.
I mean, you can do the look of that move if you want. As long if he doesn't resist you, I won't even make him do his CMD against that. Like if he wants to let you get on him, it's fine. As long as he realizes that your motives are good. Maybe that's a sense motive from Nikali if you're not telling him straight up that you're being cool. He comes from a battle culture, so if you attack him, he might just read that as like, oh, this is a fight to the death. This is serious, because in his culture that would be a normal thing to do.
Yeah, I guess I can throw a wink.
Yeah, you can throw a wink with a linguistics.
That's a good way.
Yeah,
Just say wink out loud.
yeah. You can try to either you can tell him.
What S would actually do. I would
Yeah.
probably just say wink, and then I would
All right.
rush it.
You want to sense motive that and call it to see if you get it.
50 plus 4, 19.
That sounds enough to get the. You know, this guy's your friend. He hasn't tried to hurt you yet. He's not hurting you right now. He's just climbing all over you at the moment.
Like a spider monkey.
It's like evil, not stupid. It's like he sees killing him as, angering everyone else on the ship.
Yeah, Kess is pretty popular. He's a cool guy.
So what I do is I grapple him, I get really close, and it looks like I'm trying to put him in a headlock or something, because, I'm the much smaller combatant.
You get up to his head. That's probably when you whisper into his ear, wink.
Right, to the whole crowd, it looks like I just said fuck it and rushed him. So I've got him in this little headlock, but I'm actually not applying any pressure, and I whisper in his ear, like, let's just make this look good for ratings. Yeah.
But they have to
It's like,
keep
listen,
my body.
He's like, no, they want a show. So, like, let's just give them a show. Let's, like, professional wrestling this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can do that.
And then, like, I can pass out, and then all of a sudden I fucking get up, and then, like, you pass out because you're tired. And
I mean, you only have 6 seconds to sail this, so don't make it. Or else there's gonna be standing. You're just like they're just hugging a really long time. This is awkward.
The theater.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, let's pro wrestling dramatic. Let's fake our way through this and make it action packed. And then I
Alright.
like flip off of him and like land in like a fighting scene.
Roll me an acrobatics to jump off him. I'll allow it even the extra move because you guys are pulling some shit, and I'll assume that Akali will allow you to pull off your move before he does anything.
Yeah.
You guys are friends. Yeah, it sounds like you pull that off. You jump off him.
fucking do a turtle backflip and land.
All right, Akali, what's your fake move to make this look good?
Okay, I'm going to do an enraged roar using my strength score for my charisma for intimidate, and I'm going to intimidate the crowd spectacle.
Go for it.
I'm gonna act like there's like an overwhelming energy presence that is coming, that is beckoning from his roar, and I'm gonna act like it's like pushing me like off the platform, like
Oh, the power of his breath! Even do a thing like it smells bad. Oh, it got me, the smell of it.
26.
Oh, the crowd's buying that. Yeah. You were definitely playing with the crowd. You didn't hurt anybody, but the crowd's still buying into it. You look ferocious. You're way bigger than this little frog guy. Everyone's afraid this frog guy is going to die. I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there making bets right now. I mean, it's just the two of you in there, so that's you again, Kiss.
Alright, so what I do is I like run up and I do like a claw attack to like top of his head so that I can like scrape him and like maybe get some like blood going just so it's dramatic, but like not fucking like hurt him.
But you do want to try and break the skin, though.
Yeah, I want to try to break this
A
skin.
melee attack on his head. It's like a super noogie.
That's an 18.
Alright, so that'll be a scratch. How much damage of scratch do you do?
Okay, well, that's 3 plus 2 plus 3.
So 8.
Oh no.
I would go down, but I don't have to go down because
You have that feat or the trait or whatever. You would be unconscious. You fight it, and you still look awake.
I only have half an action.
Yeah, you either move or fight, but not both. He looks out of it. You scratched him. He's bleeding. He's already bruised from all the ball damage. He looks really dazed right now. You can't tell that he would be unconscious because he's fighting it. He still could go unconscious later, but for right now, he's not, and he's fighting it.
I wish that I could like pretend to hit you but heal you, but I don't have any way to heal you.
Yeah, well, I'm out like a light after the next
Yeah.
round.
The crowd's chanting for you to take him down, Kess. The announcer asked the crowd if the gladiators should fire their balls. Let's hear it, crowd. What do you think?
I'll roll and find out.
How do I feel?
Natural 20 for mercy.
All right, so you're against it. Oh, the crowd. Well, there's a large crowd, and it's just you and I think Tomoko that are against them, getting ball shot at them. Oh, I rolled really low. Maybe it was your natural 20 after all that helped. Only 30% of this crowd seems into it. They want to see what's going to happen. So the gladiators have their fingers on the trigger, ready to fire, but they don't fire yet. They're waiting for the signal from the announcer to let it rip. But he hasn't let it rip yet because you look dazed like you might go down on your own with just this frogman taking you down, which would be a great fight, this little tiny man taking out this big guy.
Yeah, David versus Goliath kind of thing.
Yeah, everyone loves a fight like that. It's great ratings. Underdog story.
I do a CMB to not use my claw attack to do a melee damage, to like choke him out to where he only slips into unconsciousness and he's not dead.
Okay.
Well, I have one more round before that. I'm gonna use it for a little theatrics.
Hamming it up to the crowd, like reluctantly being the warrior trying to like,
Yeah, at least this way it looks like you're choking him out. So it looks, even if he does pass out now, it looks like you're doing it.
unnatural 21.
I'm gonna let him choke me out.
Pass out whatever you would normally do or fake whatever you want to do, but that was high enough to look convincing, but obviously it's not enough to actually do any damage to you, but it does look like he's trying to choke you. So when the crowd would buy, he's choking you, right? Yeah. It looks legit.
I'm going to do like the dazed fighter look, where it's like where you do like.
Whoa.
But he
Still
doesn't.
standing up, but
like-
But he doesn't.
You're like stumbling all across the ring.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to fake it. Like he's gonna run back and forth, like do kind of like the blind man's like raging down, like with the tiny man clinging to his back.
You want to get any collateral damage with you when you're bumping into things or anything?
Yeah, just like toss some stuff like equipment. Or
I mean, it's
whatever.
just a big empty ring except for the tennis ball guys. You can bump into one of the tennis ball cannons if you want.
Uh,
But that's about it.
Would that be a bad thing? Would they fire on me?
They won't fire on you for that exact, but that, I mean, that's points one cannon away from you. That way, at least only 3 of them can fire you next round, if anything.
Yeah, we'll do that.
dude,
Alright.
run into all of them.
At the end of the round, you can only bump into one and affect one through this move. But you can knock one, so it's not pointing at you. The other 3 are still ready to fire at you if
I'm
they
gonna
need
knock
to.
it, and then I'm gonna turn around, and then I'm actually going to fall unconscious because
So you let yourself pass out. So you are actually unconscious now, but not dead.
completely unconscious. -4.
That's okay, and you have pretty good con though, right? So you're not near dead.
Oh yeah, I have really good cop.
Ratings, blah blah. The announcers are talking about it. The gladiators get off of their cannons, and they're gonna try to take the body away unless you have some sort of diplomacy or bribe or some other way to convince them to let you keep that body there, Kess.
So what I'm going to say is that I'm going to try to bargain with them and say that, listen, to sweeten this deal, I will give up 1,000 of those gloms back to this organization, and that since you made us us teammates fight, and it was no choice of ours, we want to take the body because this is
You know this guy. You can roll diplomacy with these guys. See if you can. You'll get to go backstage with them. So I mean, you guys can. They're gonna pull the body off stage. They can do this behind the scenes if you want them to. If you have a good bribe, they might go for it. So
since this is about ratings, and since we put on such a great show, and I'm the one that's conscious right now, I will also sign a contract saying that I will fight. I will be under contract with you guys, and I will fight again.
We'll do more shows.
Or do more shows, become a gladiator or something. I will sign over my talents in exchange for my teammates' life.
Or roll me diplomacy for 1,000 gloms and a contract.
I should get an advantage because I also sweep the pot with.
I'm gonna count. Don't worry. The number you roll, I'm gonna count those things into it. The things you offer affect my decision and like how high you have to roll and stuff. So the fact that you made those offers makes my number lower. So even though I'm not telling you to add anything, I'm subtracting from my thing. So don't worry.
Well, I don't have any bonuses, but I did get flat. Fuck.
If you can sign up for a 10-show contract, they'll allow it.
I will do it for Nikali because he's.
All right. Swipe your glom card so they have your ID and stuff, and if you breach the contract, they can track you down and you owe them whatever. But you've got a 10-show contract with them.
Perfect.
1,000 of your gloms, but you still get 2,000, so it's still a win-win for you.
Well, I'm also going to give 1,000 of that to Nikali.
I thought we were going to just pour it in.
Well, I've had 0 gloms basically the entire game, so.
Once Nikali wakes up, you can transfer him to his car, but wait till he wakes up, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because right now he's unconscious, and you can take him because you've paid for him. You just have to figure out how to get him back to your crew, because he's a big guy and you're a small guy. How do you get him out of here, I guess, is
Can we see what's happening?
No, you guys are up in the audience, and they're backstage. You can take off your mankini, pick back up your, your items, your supplies, whatever weapons you had, all your stuff, put on your regular clothes. You can keep your onesie outfit if you want. That seems to be, that's your parting gift.
I wear it over top of my armor. Can't I just say have the staff transport him to the green room and I'll be there, and then our crew will know the show is over. And
yeah, he can be in the green room fine. It's just once you how do you get him out of the green room? I guess is the question. Unless you want to let him rest in the green room long enough to heal, you've got to get him out of there. Your crew can't come backstage unless they're part of a show, and they're not. So you have to getting Nikali out of here is our part. You carrying him is difficult because he's so large. So either you have to hang out back here till you can leave and come back later, or
it's out because what I can say, transport him to the green room. I've got to sign some contract stuff anyway. I've got to do some business work. That'll be long enough for a short rest.
You'll let him rest up? Yeah. From what it sounds like, it's going to take Nikali at least 4 hours to bounce back, right? Minimum. So do you want to leave him backstage for 4 hours? I mean, you can still go meet up with your friends and be like, oh, Nikali's resting backstage for a couple hours. You can assume he's safe back there if you want to just assume that, unless you want to roll sense motive or anything else. But you've paid these guys. You feel like you've paid a bribe. Why would they fuck with you?
Well, I'm going to make sure that it's in my contract that he's safe at least this go around.
Yeah, I think. You can roll sense motive, but I think you feel like it's fine. If you want to leave him there for 4 hours, you can just go hang out with your other allies, and he can be alone for 4 hours.
I got a natural 20.
Yeah.
Motive.
I mean, these little pink guys seem like you can trust them. They're just little pink faces. They don't seem mean or anything. Yeah, whatever. Anything for ratings. Your guy can rest here.
So I think it's fair to say it would take an hour to do a business meet, sign contracts, and then that leaves 3 hours.
Sure. You can go see Dr. P and Tomoko. You guys can hang out.
That's what I do.
And tell them you have to wait 3 hours from Nikali. So you guys have 3 hours to kill while you wait.
I'm glad he's not dead.
Or I could do a quick little potion for him and go visit him and wake him up a lot faster.
Yeah, I could go back and be like, hey, I just want a copy B of Form A, for my record.
Since you signed a contract there, Kess, you are a show member now, so you can still get backstage. They might not let Dr. P, unless you can diplomacy them or something. It might take a roll and say, this is my doctor, I'm bringing my doctor in. If you guys want to try to bluff or diplomacy or something to bring in some help, they might allow it. Or maybe another bribe. There's all kinds of ways to get stuff done in the world.
Just for me to Dr. P to let me have the potion so I can just go back there and give it to him real quick.
I think Dr. P's concern is a lot of his potions only work if he's touching them, right? Is that the concern?
Oh.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, well then I'll be like, hey guys.
Part of the magic is in Dr. P.
Right. This is my doctor.
You can roll diplomacy. That's not even a bluff. Dr. P is really a doctor on your ship, so just a diplomacy to see if they'll let him in.
I got a 14.
It seems like they want to grease the palms a little. Maybe 100 gloms will get Dr. P in the door.
Alright, I will use 100.
Alright, 100 gloms, and Dr. P and Kess are backstage so you guys can give some potions to your big blue friend.
It'll take me about 1.5 minutes.
Whip something up.
2 potions to give him over his negative health, and then give him a little extra.
You'll make a couple smoothies and mixed drinks for him. Do some
2
bartending.
extracts for him, but it's going to take me about, I would say, probably 120 seconds.
You got that. This guy's passed out. He's not going anywhere, so you can do that. You whip up some ingredients in the corner, turn around, and with the power of your ingredients and your demonic spirit, you imbue them with the magic that makes them do their work. How much HP does he get back? Might come back weak, but don't think much to bring him back.
10 health.
So that brings you back up. I feel like you're doing a lot better.
It's like he clutches his head and is like, God.
I mean, you still look rough. You got these bumpy bruises all over you and stuff, but yeah, you're awake at least. Whatever Dr. P gave you, those spirits woke you right up.
Like, I feel like the tennis ball guy was only shooting at me.
That's fair.
I call him a brave warrior.
Nice fighting.
And I guess technically, since Nikali didn't win, you didn't lose any money there, Dr. P, so that kind of worked out okay for you as well.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, actually. I was going to say, it's like, because of the 2 of you, I don't owe anyone money.
Didn't win anything, but you didn't lose anything.
I give him a weary thumbs up.
Because of you guys, I broke even.
And I brought you back to life. Well, from unconscious.
I appreciate it. You're awesome.
Using just the spare fluids from his spare fluids pack. It's
Whatever
something
team-
really nasty, but it worked.
Lost to me back?
It was just vodka and demon waste, but it woke you up. So yeah, you guys are all awake and reunited and free to go about your days. Winners of a prize, owners of fabulous new mankinis. Yeah.
Kess, are you going to actually stay here and fight?
And he signed a contract, so he's got to do 10 shows now.
10 shows is a lot of shows.
Can't win, though.
Yeah, you can just get knocked out in the non-lethal stage, like the next 10 shows.
Yeah, and it's on contract. Like, they can offer me, but as long as I do it within a certain time frame, it don't have to be consecutively. Like,
It's all in the contract. I'm sure as long as you roll something to read what it says or hire a lawyer, you'll figure it out.
Do they do drug testing? Because, dude, we can juice you with a whole bunch of extracts from, like, we can make you be the bomb.
Juice the frog.
Yeah, morality clause. We're gonna put a morality clause in this contract.
Yeah, we'll roll later on, I guess, to see how good this contract is in my favor or their favor.
Eventually, we could buy you out of it.
With a linguistics check, or I don't know if anyone has any other particular skills that help them with reading legal documents, but if you do, let me know. Some sort of knowledge.
So are you giving me the 1,000 gloms? Or not?
Yeah, I'm giving you 1,000 bombs.
You'll bleep each other's cards.
Are you gonna give
All you gotta do is like tap your guys' chart. You just tap each other's cards together 1,000 times. So you guys do that for about an hour. Bloop, 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 bloop. Until he's got 1,000
There's gotta
gloms.
be a better way.
You go to a glom machine and then actually just transfer them. That's faster. But person to person,
no fees?
Perfect.
There's no fees if you do it person to person.
I paid 100 and I give him 1,000, so now I have 900 gloms for myself.
still more than you started with. You guys can celebrate. You guys can roll linguistic checks to go over the contracts while you celebrate.
Yeah,
There are drinks to sell for here and stuff like that.
Currently have 7,556 gloms in our joint bank account from our time here.
I just have a +1 on that roll. If anyone has linguistics are really good with intelligence.
Or some other knowledge roll that's good at contracts. I don't know what other thing you might have that might be for reading contracts.
Should ask
Tomoko
Archive.
is going to be helpful.
He was a
Contracts
lawyer.
probably wouldn't
Yeah.
be a big
Yeah,
thing for us. Hey, Zalshan is really smart. Why don't we ask Zalshan?
Yeah,
Zalshan knows everything.
I guess a basic intelligence check.
Knowledge Arcana.
I might allow knowledge because that could be arcane. I think
I
linguistics
could-
is better, but I would allow knowledge arcana if you want to look at this as like some sort of magic language. I would allow
He
it.
called it Arcane.
Spell.
Yeah.
Use magic device.
Yeah, I'll hand it to Dr. P. He's never steered me wrong in the past. I'm kind of his sidekick.
I mean, I will say Dr. P's planet is very legalistic, so I mean, this might to him might be arcane language and might be something he recognizes since they are quite a legalistic, evil planet that he comes from.
I got a 21 knowledge.
Oh, you've seen a contract before. Your planet is full of contracts. I mean, you
Oh,
couldn't do.
yes, this is a contract.
You couldn't change a light bulb on your planet without a contract, so like you know how to look over a contract. You can give it a once over. All the terms he has signed up for a 10-show deal, no pay. There is a time limit. They don't have to be 10 consecutive shows, but it is over a period of time measured in this galaxy. So if you leave this galaxy, it might be harder to measure. So he does have to meet this obligation, or else be fined, owe them money,
What if we
be
go
tracked
to a
down,
dimension that doesn't have
make another enemy. You could always leave without doing it, but that would just mean you'd have someone hunting you down because you owe them.
You know.
But you guys already
bring
have plenty of
them back directly, like we push a button, then he pops back over, like teleportation kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I don't want
I mean, you guys don't have one. As someone that wants to be a future Technomancer, you know teleportation exists.
Yeah.
As a
that's why I'm
thing.
asking about it. Do they have that?
Oh, you want to ask around? Maybe knowledge local to see if they have something like that. Sure, you can knowledge local just to see if they can. You figure that out.
I'm actually pretty decent at it. Knowledge local.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys both look around. It's
Double
fine.
down.
You got time.
2 on my knowledge local.
Pretty good.
14.
Sounds like Nikali gets more info, maybe because he was in that match and people saw him pass out. There are rumors that some of the high rollers have access to teleportation, but even the ones they have here on planet are just for ships that are in orbit. So if you were teleporting from a ship, your ship has to have a teleportation device also, or they have to have your coordinates, one or the other. They has to be at least near enough that they can reach it, so you can't be too far away for it to work.
I can say that the ship Zaoshan is like my agent, and then they just have to deal with Zaoshan anytime they want me to come back.
And no, let's say you're going on tour. How about that?
Well, you've already signed the contract. You can go on tour as long as you come back at some point. You can come back in the last 10 days and do 10 shows if that's how you want to do it. But as long as you finish it by the end of the contract, or else you'll have a bounty out for you for not completing the contract.
Oh, we could.
You can also get it right out of the way right away. Yeah, just do 10 shows, 10 days right in a row. Knock it out, get it over with.
I'm not opposed to that idea.
Yeah, I'm not opposed.
Listen, you guys can also bet against me. It's just
Oh, for the first show.
paid anyway. I can just ruin my contract, and they're like, "Oh, we never want to work with you again. You did great the first time, and
And then
now
you just
suck."
sucked. Yeah.
This concludes our transmission. Tune in next time for more Dungeon to the Stars. This episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater was sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.